One question. Have you ever been told your thyroid is normal and felt anything but exhausted, gaining weight on a calorie deficit, hair thinning, skin dry, cold when nobody else is cold, unable to think clearly, and every single test comes back fine, normal? Here's what normal actually means in this context. It means they checked one number, one out of a system with at least 4 moving parts, and they checked the wrong one to answer the question you were actually asking. Today, we fix that. I know this because I have a thyroid that does not work. I fixed it a decade ago, but after surgical menopause, it all came back. And it was so confusing because the symptoms are very similar to menopause or perimenopause. Here's what I had to figure out. Your thyroid is not just a gland. Think of your body as a room. Every system in that room, your metabolism, your energy, your weight, your temperature regulation needs to run at the right temperature to function properly. Your thyroid is the thermostat on the wall. When the thermostat works, your metabolism runs at the right temperature, calories burn, energy is steady, weight responds to what you eat and how you move. When the thermostat is broken, no amount of fuel restriction will make the room the right temperature. No amount of exercise, your body keeps the heat low and stores the excess as fat. Nothing else works until the thermostat is fixed. I call this the thermostat, and when it breaks, everything breaks with it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Your thyroid produces 2 hormones. T4, inactive, a storage form, does nothing on its own, and T3, active, the hormone that actually burns energy and keeps your metabolism running. Think of it like an online order. Your thyroid is the warehouse. It ships T4 every single day. But T4 is not the product you need. It is the package. Inside that package is T3, the thing that actually does the work. For T3 to reach your cells, the package has to be opened and converted. That conversion happens in your liver, your gut, your peripheral tissues. Now, imagine the tracking system says delivered. The warehouse shipped everything correctly. The numbers look fine, but you never received the product. It got lost in transit. The conversion failed. T3 never arrived. That is the lost signal. And here's what causes it. The same inflammatory cascade we have been calling the glitch, the cytokines TNF-alpha and the IL-6 that visceral fat produces, those exact molecules interfere with the enzyme that converts T4 into T3. So your thyroid is producing T4. The test shows normal production, but the conversion is failing. T3 never arrives. The thermostat is set to low and your body has no idea why. The standard test measures TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. This is not a thyroid hormone. It is the signal your brain sends to tell your thyroid to produce more. If TSH is in range, most doctors stop there. Test complete, check. Thyroid normal, check. See you next year. Ciao, ciao. But TSH only tells you whether the warehouse received the order. It tells you nothing about whether the package was delivered, nothing about whether T3 actually reached your cells. Strip away the science. Your thyroid is sending the signal. The signal is getting lost, and the standard test is only checking whether the signal was sent, not whether it arrived. The questions to ask your doctor could be, what is my free T3? What is my free T4? What is my reverse T3? Has anyone checked my thyroid antibodies? This is not medical advice. This is patient advocacy. You have the right to ask these questions. One more thing about the lost signal. When your body is under extreme stress, chronic inflammation, cortisol overload, severe calorie restriction, instead of converting T4 into active T3, it converts T4 into something called reverse T3, a decoy molecule, same shape as T3, fits into the same receptor, but does nothing. It blocks the receptor and prevents real T3 from binding. Your body is not just failing to produce energy, it is actively blocking the mechanism that would produce it. And when does this happen most? When you are chronically stressed. When the glitch is running high, when you have been eating too little for too long, the very conditions that menopause creates, the very things most women do in response to weight gain. Eat less, push harder, stress more, whoosha, whoosha. Code red running constantly. Reverse T3 rises, the thermostat drops further. Now I need to talk about something that for many women watching this is the missing diagnosis. It was for me. I want to tell you my story here because it is not a footnote, it is the whole point. In my early 30s, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Not enough thyroid hormone. The symptoms were there. Constant fatigue, some weight gain, but manageable. I started treatment. And then with sports, with nutrition, with taking care, my numbers came back. I came off medication. I thought it was over. 15 years later, it came back. And this time, it was not manageable. I spent weekends in bed, unable to do anything. I was traveling for work and I was passing out, literally passing out on planes, in buses, in cars. Waking up in the morning felt impossible. Not tired, impossible. I went back to treatment, but here's what I did not know then. I had Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is the autoimmune condition, and I want to explain it through the same delivery metaphor because it makes it immediately clear. Imagine the warehouse is shipping your packages correctly every day. The conversion is happening. T3 is being produced, but somewhere between the warehouse and your door, there's a security team that has made a terrible mistake. They have flagged your own deliveries as suspicious. They are intercepting the packages, destroying them, thinking they are protecting you. They are not. They are destroying exactly what you need. And here's the part nobody connects. The same inflammatory cascade from menopause makes this autoimmune attack more aggressive. Estrogen was partially suppressing that immune overreaction. When estrogen drops, the brake comes off. Hashimoto's that was quiet becomes loud. Symptoms that were manageable becomes impossible to ignore. And after menopause, the inflammation, the endometriosis, the surgical menopause, the cortisol, code red running constantly, everything we have been talking about in this series, it all came back. The two feed each other. Menopause amplifies the ambush. The ambush amplifies every menopause symptoms. Hair loss, brain fog, fatigue, weight gain, feeling cold. These are thyroid symptoms. There are also menopause symptoms. There are also symptoms of chronic stress, iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, and a dozen other things. So how do you know? You do not from symptoms alone. And that is exactly the problem. That is exactly why this get dismissed. It is just menopause. It is just stress. It is just aging. The only way to know is to test, and to test the right things. Not just TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and antibody test that checks whether the ambush is happening. Symptoms tell you something is wrong. The right test tells you where. You cannot out-restrict a broken thermostat, but you can support it. 3 directions. 1. Reduce the glitch that is blocking conversions. The anti-inflammatory protocol, the rewire fuel, removing the triggers. This is not separate from thyroid health because every step you take to lower the glitch is a step toward restoring the lost signal. 2. The specific micronutrients the conversion requires. Selenium. Your body uses selenium to run the enzyme that converts T4 to T3. 2 Brazilian nuts per day. That is your selenium. Do not supplement without testing. Overconsumption of selenium is real. Zinc supports T3 receptor sensitivity. Pumpkin seeds, grass-fed beef, eggs. Iodine. Your thyroid cannot produce T4 without it, but if the ambush is happening, excess iodine can accelerate the autoimmune attack. This is why you do not self-supplement iodine without knowing your antibody status first. Food sources, seaweed in small amounts, fish, dairy if tolerated. 3. Stop the behaviors that raise reverse T3, chronic severe calorie restriction, chronic code red, chronic sleep deprivation. All 3 push T4 toward reverse T3 instead of active T3. Eating enough, managing code red, sleeping, these are not lifestyle suggestions. For a thermostat that is already struggling, there are the rewire. I want to come back to where I started. I have hypothyroidism, surgical menopause, no ovaries producing estrogen, no natural cortisol buffer, a thyroid on the autoimmune attack, a history of chronic inflammation that goes back more than a decade ago. For a long time, I thought my body was broken, and I was told that this was just what my life was going to be. It is not broken, it is miswired. The thermostat was set wrong because the signals around it were wrong. The glitch, code red, insulin resistance, reverse T3 blocking the receptors, the ambush attacking the gland. When I started addressing those signals, not the weight, not the symptoms, the signals, things started to shift, not overnight, but the direction changed. If you have been told your thyroid is normal and nothing in your body feels normal, you're not imagining it. You might be working with a thermostat that nobody has properly calibrated. The thermostat can be recalibrated, not always perfectly, but better, and better changes everything. If you want to understand the inflammation feeding this loop after perimenopause or menopause, watch this episode. If you want to know the triggers feeding the glitch, the belly fat, the inflammation, watch this episode. You are rewiring a system.